What is up guys, Fahan here and welcome back to another ultimate bike review. Special thanks to Royal Enfield Singapore for lending me this bike. This is the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. So unlike most 2020s era bike, the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 still uses a conventional key as opposed to a transponder. So starting out pretty straightforward. Put in the key in the ignition, twist the ignition, and you see the gauge cluster coming to life. The ignition switch is actually together with the kill switch. Just push it to the left and it starts. So pretty straightforward lah. And moving off, pull in the clutch, first gear, get a move on. So as you guys have known in the model vlog, I actually took this out from Enfield just today. And I'm basically giving my review already lah. Oh, and I have to say the handling for the Meteor 350 is really tip top. It handles pretty good. I mean, you can just do a pylon slalom very easily. I think it's pretty good for beginners. And despite its weight of 191 kg, its power to weight ratio is pretty okay. Not too bad, I must say. And the handling, whew, is damn good, man, on the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. As a beginner, maybe for those of you guys who just gotten your class 2A, this bike is perfect for you, man. This is actually very good handling. It corners very easily, it turns where you want to turn, it leans where you want to lean. It goes exactly where you point the bike to. It doesn't fight you. You don't have trouble leaning into the corners. And for me, being used to like NC750 and adventure bike, coming to this, the Meteor 350, I must say the transition is very smooth lah. I'm not really having much issues with adjusting to this bike or getting used to it right now. It's a very good handling bike. The brakes are pretty good also. I think it's using both front and back disc brakes. When you're sitting down idling, they say that according to the reviews, Royal Enfield actually made some changes to the engine to reduce its vibration, but the vibration is still quite prominent. You can really feel the thumping on your buttocks right now. But it's not that bad lah, honestly. It's really not that bad, but it's still there, it's still prominent. If you are coming from a cruiser, you will feel that the vibration is reduced quite a lot. But if you're from me, coming from like an adventure bike that I'm probably used to, the vibration may seem quite bad for you guys lah. The signals pretty clicky, very nice to the touch, I must say. Oh shoot, it's okay, man. The brakes are very good, very responsive. And city riding, I think there is no issues with this. Start stop traffic, very good. Very good handling. Almost as good as an automatic scooter. See, leans into the corners very well. Nothing to it, man. It's really an awesome handling bike, and true to the bike's marketing, it's really meant for beginner riders who are very nervous about riding a cruiser. I mean, cruiser bikes can look intimidating, maybe intimidating. Even myself, I was quite intimidated, you know, with the Meteor 350. But now, like after a few, like even 15 minutes of riding this bike, I feel pretty confident in it. There's nothing to it, you know. You don't need much adjustments. For me, I'm used to an adventure bike or a sports bike. I think the transition to a Meteor 350 is just like that, you know. There's nothing to it lah. It's not a huge learning curve, and this is what the Meteor 350 sets out to be: a bike for beginner riders, a bike for those who are nervous about riding a cruiser style of bike for the first time. And reviews online that I read, those experienced riders who are just transitioning to a cruiser style of bike, they really praise the handling. And the handling is really tip top on the Meteor 350. So the ride height is 76.5. I'm 165, doing pretty well on the Meteor 350. But according to Royal Enfield Singapore, Romy, Royal Enfield Ambassador, he said that there are seats that are available for shorter riders. So if you want to lower this seat, you can interchange it very easily. I mean, they have a wide range of OEM parts at the Royal Enfield showroom in Singapore, so you don't have to worry. And I was also given a tour of the spare parts storage for Royal Enfield bikes, and I must say, you don't have to worry about spare parts and all that. They really got you covered. Alright, so let's try and whack this bike a bit. Acceleration, pretty sluggish. I mean, what do you expect? It's a single cylinder, so don't expect to go fast on the Meteor 350 lah. So the performance of the Meteor 350, I wouldn't say it's great, but I wouldn't say that it's bad either. It's good, somewhat okay in my personal opinion. More than enough for you to get away from sticky situation. I mean, it has the pickup when you need it right here, as you can see. It's right there, man, at a throttle. So you don't really need to worry if somebody is negating you or what. You're still able to get away lah. But don't expect the pickup to be that fast. I mean, it's a single cylinder, what would you expect? But Royal Enfields, they're not meant for you to go fast also. It's supposed to be a nice relaxing cruise down the highway, down the city streets of Singapore probably. And with coupled with its great handling, right, it is able to take on the city streets of Singapore lah, very easily, no doubt about it. According to the official specs, 15-litre fuel tank with a projected consumption of 24 to 35 kilometers per litre lah. So 24 is mostly city riding if you do it, so that will be for Singapore roads, and 35 kilometers per litre if for the highway riding lah. I don't know if you guys can hear the thumping sound. Oh, very typical of the cruiser, you know, to have this thumping sounds. But it's not that prominent on your buttocks lah. I mean, I don't really feel it on my buttocks right now, but it's just that it's there, you know. You feel it through other means lah. Alright, so let's give it a bit of gas. Pretty standard pickup. We have a hum right here. Let's see how the suspension is. Oh, I must say that the suspension is pretty good. It absorbs much of the impact. Whee! I'm having the time of my life riding the Meteor 350. It's really an enjoyable bike, you know.
Replacing the Thunderbird 350 for the year 2020, the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 is a cruiser style of motorcycle with a retro-inspired look. The Meteor is marketed as a bike for beginner riders or for nervous riders who are getting back to motorcycles. In Singaporean context, that would mean Class 2A riders. Despite its old school retro look, it has modern features, including dual-channel ABS brakes, telescopic forks. Its SOHC engine has balancer shafts to help reduce vibrations, a built-in and hidden USB port for charging on the go, and the most touted feature, a Meteor 350 exclusive, the triple navigation that displays turn-by-turn directions. Engine is a 349cc air-cooled single-cylinder 4-stroke SOHC with fuel injection and a 5-speed constant march manual transmission.
So let's talk about the Meteor 350 sitting position. I must say it's pretty comfortable. You're sitting pretty upright with your legs right in front here, and this is the most forward my legs have probably been on a motorcycle. Given that this is my first time riding a cruiser lah. And wow, it's a very comfortable ride. You're really like sitting up straight on the bike, upright position right here. This is an easy, comfortable kind of position, very easy for you to change your gear, you know, and use the foot brake. Let's talk about some of the features that I like about the Meteor 350. Despite its very old school appearance, being a 2020 era bike, given our modern devices, we definitely need to charge and go. There's actually a hidden USB on the handlebar controls right here. They really designed it in which it really integrates well and is well hidden, so you don't even know that it's there until it's actually pointed out to you lah. LED headlight and tail light and signals on the Meteor 350. This is 2020 after all. Turn-by-turn navigation also integrated into the dash of the Royal Enfield Meteor. I think this is the first Royal Enfield bike to have this triple navigation. This is what Royal Enfield actually calls it, and I think the new Himalayan may have it. So what it does is actually it displays the turn-by-turn navigation front center on the gauge cluster of the Royal Enfield Meteor. They design it in a way whereby it's less distracting for you when you're riding, and also there's no like cell phone stands poking out of the handlebars. But I think if you were to use your cell phone for navigation, this is rendered redundant. But if you don't like those quad locks, or even what I have here, the X grip sticking out on the handlebar here, I think the triple navigation is a good addition to the Meteor 350 lah. Another feature that I like to highlight is actually very popular on Kapchais or underbone bikes, as they are popularly known, is the toe and heel gear lever. This is interesting because this is the only time I probably see it on a Class 2A bike, and I think this is the only Class 2A bike that has it. Not too sure about other models, but this is the first. And why Royal Enfield does this is because in India, people are riding with slippers or flip-flops. I want to make it convenient for the riders to change gears lah. Highly recommend that you always wear covered shoes when you're riding lah. But here in Singapore, generally most of the riders wear slippers as well lah. And I did try it out when I'm riding, but it's something that you can get used to lah, because for me, I don't really ride Kapchais mah. Alright, so as with Royal Enfield, there's a lot of OEM accessories for the manufacturer itself. They have the engine guards, footpack, seats, backrest, windscreen, mirrors, and etc. And for the Fireball, I understand there's no backrest, but there actually is an accessory, add-on accessory for you to add the backrest on the Fireball. And if you're short, there's also like shorter seats and also windscreen stuff to protect you from the wind. If you guys are curious, this is how the horn sounds like. So guys, let's talk pricing. And there are three variations to the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. There's the standard model, which is known as the Fireball. And take note that this is actually September COE, so this video comes out like 2 months later. Without COE, 8,491. With COE, 18,180. The Stellar, which is this model, the mid variation, and this model comes with the backrest, and also the exhaust pipe is also different, and the handlebar is also different. It's actually silver in color. 8,791 without COE, and with COE 18,480. And the top variant, which is a Supernova, 8,991. Without COE, and with COE 18,780 lah. And if you buy the Meteor 350 from Royal Enfield Singapore, you get 3 years warranty, unlimited mileage by the way, yeah. And I have to say that it is a pretty good deal. It's probably the cheapest in the market for a Class 2A bike, even cheaper than a second-hand Honda Super 4. So for those of you guys who are budget conscious and you want a new bike, you can actually consider a Meteor 350 lah.
Design-wise, it's pretty much a standard cruiser, but it still has the hallmarks of a Royal Enfield. Personally, I'm not into cruisers, but it looks pretty attractive overall. Reportedly, despite its development in India, testing is done with the UK side of Royal Enfield, so you can expect a high level of quality despite its attractive price.
Alright, so we're on the highway, Tampines Expressway. Oh man, I must say that the Meteor, this is what it's built for, no? For highway riding. And this is what a cruiser is supposed to be lah. A highway machine, you know, where you can cruise down on a relaxing ride on the highway. And yeah, if you're a rider who is having a long day at work, a tough day, and you just want to go out for a ride, right? I think the Meteor 350 will be a perfect fit for you, because this bike is like, you don't have to worry about anything else but just focus on the road in front of you. You're not worrying about, you know, getting used to the bike or sitting uncomfortably on it, you know. It's really a nice relaxing ride that you can enjoy without being too concerned about the bike's handling itself. But I have to admit that the performance of the Meteor 350 is somewhat okay, though you're still able to get boosts of like acceleration when you need it. But this is not why you buy a Meteor 350 for. It's meant to be a nice relaxing cruise down the highway, an easy ride for beginner riders wanting to go into cruisers, or experienced riders who are just transitioning into a cruiser. And this is the perfect bike. But how does the Meteor 350 actually fit into the Singaporean market? I think for Class 2A riders, we have another choice of Class 2A bike to ride on. other than the Super Force or the X-Max. The Meteor 350 is another option for our Class 2A riders who are just starting out. You know, you can't go wrong getting a Royal Enfield 350. I mean, you have the support from Royal Enfield Singapore. You need to worry about aftermarket parts and all that. If you're not looking for performance, but just a nice relaxing cruise down the highway, the Meteor 350 is a perfect bike for you. But if you want something fast, you want something flashy, you want something that you can show off your friends to, definitely the Meteor 350 is out of your league. So there's always other Class 2A bikes out there. We got some traffic up ahead, so let's see how the Meteor 350 lane splits. Oh, I must say I'm quite nervous right now. But thank God the clutch is pretty light. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, the clutch. The clutch is damn light. It's not that heavy on your hands, you know. So it's almost like slipper clutch like that. Very, very light on the hands. Right. Oh, not too bad lah. I mean, you are able to gauge the bike size from its handlebars. Yeah, you are able to lane split pretty easily lah. It's not that wide of a bike anyway. Oh, heavy traffic right now. It's peak hour. Wrong time to do a review, I reckon. I must say that the Meteor 350 lane splits pretty well, but I'm kind of nervous because it is actually kind of big. And maybe because I'm not really gotten used to the bike yet. But yeah, we shall see what happens. It's not that bad lah, but you can still lane split pretty easily on the Meteor 350. Oh, I love the growl, you know, the engine, you know, it's growl, it's low thumping growl. Phew. Damn, this engine sound, whew, is awesome, sir. So some of you guys probably may think that the triple navigation is redundant, and personally, yes, I do feel that it's redundant if you rely on your handphone for navigation. But if you don't like your handlebar to be so cluttered with like quad locks or this X grip right here, the triple navigation actually does justice, and you're not really distracted, you know, because it's like you're just glancing down at the triple, looking at the navigation, and yeah, there it is. It's simple and straightforward. Just shows you where you're supposed to go. And yeah, if you're not using the triple, it just shows you the time, which is 6:25 right now. And yeah, not too much information displayed from the triple. If you're using it, it just shows you where you need to go, which lane to keep at if you're turning. So not too distracting, and really adds value to the safety aspect of it. Alright, so this begs the question, where does the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 fit in to the Singaporean market? Given that Class 2A bikes are dominated by the Yamaha X-Max, Honda Super 4, CB400X, this will be another good choice for our Class 2A riders. You know, if they want a nice, relaxing bike to cruise on, though it doesn't have the standard performance of a Class 2, if you're not looking for speed and you want something that handles very easily, something also stylish and kind of old school, kind of retro but also modern, you can consider the Meteor 350. This is a very good bike, and as you guys know, I do these reviews speaking from the heart and the truth, and you cannot go wrong with the handling of the Meteor 350. It's really an awesome bike, and I wish that you guys can really feel it for yourselves. You know, all kinds of riders, even if you're not into the cruisers, right, like myself, I'm not really into cruisers, but I really love the handling of the Meteor 350. It's really awesome, really gives a run for my money, you know, as an experienced rider who is so used to riding adventure bikes and a standard class of motorcycle and scooters also. And among all the bikes that I've tested, Oh, upon first impressions, the Meteor 350 is really the best hunting bike that you can ride on the get-go, no doubt about it. And Royal Enfield has really been brought into the spotlight recently with its current lineup, from the Interceptor to the Himalaya and now the Meteor 350. And I would expect that the technology from the Meteor 350 will also be carried on to its existing or other new models that probably are in development. Despite being manufactured in India, there is some European flavour to the Meteor 350 lah. There's a lot of research and development going on with Royal Enfield UK on this bike, so you can expect the quality to be there lah. Alright, welcome to Upper Thomson Road. Whoa, that is the growl. The engine growl is so awesome. When you as you're accelerating, like the thumping and the growl for the engine, who really gets to you, man. Going through this bend right here, no issue to it. You know, you can lean with your body, you can lean with your butt, and you will still go where you want to go. This is probably the best handling bike I've ever ridden. At this price point, like 18k with COE, and looking at the current COE prices, this is probably the cheapest Class 2A motorbike you can get for brand new. No doubt about it.
It's not really a fast bike. It's not really something that screams performance, but it is a very comfortable and very confident ride. I would say it's for riders who want a nice, relaxing cruise down the highway. And I know probably some of you guys will criticize Royal Enfield for their lack of performance for their bikes, but this is not what Royal Enfield is all about. And they manufacture mostly old school kind of cruiser bikes, and cruiser bikes are usually not built to go fast, but they're built more for comfort. And definitely the Meteor 350 really hits it home with the comfort. It's a really awesome bike, I must say. And yeah, if you're the kind of guy who doesn't mind the old school technology on this bike, you don't mind the performance, you're looking for something comfortable, or you're a Class 2A rider looking at a cruiser bike, the Meteor 350 is the one for you.
True to the Royal Enfield heritage, the Meteor 350 has the looks and feel of a Royal Enfield. It is able to leverage on modern technology and make improvements to its current lineup. Given Royal Enfield's attractive prices, and with the brand gaining traction worldwide, it will be a huge contender with other retro-inspired offerings from mainstream manufacturers in Singapore.